California streaming, California streaming. Oh, yes. What's going on, people? We're here for our weekly dividend communion. Why is he wearing sunglasses when it's 8 o'clock at night? Well, I'm so happy you asked that. No reason at all. Just because we make every intro different, just for you to keep you on your toes. As my wife gets an alert on her phone she left by me that we're live here. So I hope you all are having a wonderful Memorial Day. And Rick, you beat me to the punch, man. We do want to thank everybody who served and those who did pay the ultimate sacrifice. Keeping this place free is because of the brave. We thank them so very much. And you just have to take a moment out of every Memorial Day to stop and just take a minute. Just take a minute and realize that. So Patel, not exactly like Corey Hart, but we'll do it, F it. We'll do the whole episode like this, right? No, wrong. We're not gonna do it. So, oh dude, Stan, we got SCHD Stan in the house. Word to the wise. So yeah, John, unfortunately I got this old thing here, this Epiphone. For those of you that don't know, it's a knockoff Gibson. When you see Slash play guitar, he's not playing one of these because this was like $700, something like that. Oh, Kevin, what's up, man? I was gonna jump on your show, so all of you that were coming, hopefully from Kevin's show, hey, keep the party rolling. We do all thank you for your time. And two things before we get into the news. And what I bought, things I did this week. You already know. If you get the newsletter, link is below. You can go to DapperDividends.com, get all the details. But if you ever go to a race, if anyone ever invites you to an Indy 500 race or something with Indy cars, it might seem like you want to sit down low. It might seem like a good idea to sit low. But a couple of videos I took, it's not a good idea to sit low. We sit way up high, and again, if you got the newsletter, you know that my friend, his aunt lives in Indianapolis, and it's a tradition, and it's growing bigger and bigger, that friends and family are welcome. You put up a tent in her yard. She lives about 25 minutes away from the racetrack, and it's a whole Memorial Day weekend thing. But here you go. So this is Cars from, or not like the movie Cars, Pixar, what's up? But this is what 220 miles per hour looks like when you're standing pretty close and looking straight on, and why you want to be high up at a racetrack. This is what it looks like and sounds like. No bueno. That's no bueno. You can't see anything. So this is the last video. We're not going to talk racing. I'm not even a race fan. It's just a fun atmosphere. I love learning things every time I go. But this is why you want to sit up high if you're ever invited to a race. So this is their seats. They have the same ones every year. It's the last two rows in this one section of the Northeast Vista in turn 3. So check out the difference that going up high makes.
Safely through 2.
That's why. There it is. I just proved my point. If you're down low at an Indy 500 race, be prepared. You're gonna have a bad time. Make sure you sit up high if you want to see what the heck's going on. So, with that being said, before we get into it, one last thing that I want to tell you guys. So, I'm a bit frugal, right? Hearing loss. Sorry, dude, you freaked me out. As soon as I hear hearing loss, those of you that are longtime watchers of the stream that we got, the Illinois streaming, not California streaming by the mamas and the papas, which I think it's the Mandela effect. Mama Cass, I believe, did not choke to death on a ham sandwich. I think Austin Powers was wrong, but INBM, you know what? That's exactly what I say. They sound like bees, they sound like bees. Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty cool, like angry bees. But yeah, when I see hearing loss, I automatically think, oh no, I don't have sound. I'm not broadcasting. But before we get into news and things like that and such, our washer and dryer, 13 years old. It's been limping. It's been getting louder and louder. I put up with it. We put up with it. It's in a different room right off our family room here, and it's just ridiculous. I don't know how long your washers and dryers last. We have a Samsung. It was getting to the point where when it was going through its spin cycle, it literally sounded like somebody was taking a hammer going bang, 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 bang. And we're just you know how we dealt with that? We just turn up the volume on the TV, just you can't drown it out, right? It doesn't cost any more money to turn up the volume on the TV. But, oh, what's up? Great God, Nix. Thank you for swinging on by the channel. But what we've been doing for I'd say about 6 weeks now, we've been limping it along, and it stopped draining, and we knew Memorial Day's coming up, but my wife, God bless her, I almost said God rest her soul, Kevin Mendoza in the house. What's up, man? She's been manually draining the one load a day is what we've been doing, and it reached a point because of the holiday week, and we had a backup. We went to a laundromat. It cost us about $30 to do almost 8 loads of laundry, so drying and all that. But the point is, Memorial Day's here. We did it. We went through Home Depot. We spent about $1,800, but we got $500 off because of this holiday sale. And we got our $500 off. And I want to let you know, this is tied into Memorial Day. If you or anybody you know are a veteran at Home Depot, I think Lowe's might do something similar. 10% off is what you can get. So make sure you let any veterans know. 10% discount. So we got another $180 off that. We dropped $1,800. Brand new Samsung washer and dryer. And there are 63% of Americans that are not able to cover a $500 unexpected expense. Have you guys heard this? I don't know if, hopefully you all can. If you're watching this show, I really hope you can. But for those people, I feel bad for them because it's not their fault. And how do I know that? Because in school, they would rather teach you about trigonometry than how spending less than you earn will create a cash reserve for you, and you don't have to put money on a credit card and use a credit card as your emergency fund. And it's just compounding in reverse. It's negative compounding when you can't pay off the credit card and you just get charged interest and then have to pay more interest on the interest you just earned. We don't want to do that around here, right? So that's the whole point of it. Tying in the washer and dryer to and saving and investing and having that store of wealth to pull from. You got to do it. And this is why it's great to spread the word and let people know that hopefully we're making smart investments here. So that is awesome. Yeah, again, what did you guys do for Memorial Day? What are you drinking? What are you thinking? What is it? Anybody up on that? Popped up on that purple drink? I don't even know that. That may be a thing. That's not my bag. That's not my genre. And what did you guys think of the Papa John's video? Ticker PZZA. I heard from a few of you in the comments. I love that. It's something I'm thinking about. My daughter, favorite pizza place. So I should have brought the pizza box in. Silly and stupid me, right? I don't bring the pizza box in to show you the Papa John's, but I was going through some books and I did find this. Shout out if I had that up there forever, Whiskey Tango. Shout out if anybody knows what this is. Has anybody here, focus, there we go. Has anybody here done this or know what this is? If you have, that sticker was earned. You can't buy it. You can only earn it. So kind of like my love for you watching this channel. You can't buy it. You're only going to earn it. And you're going to earn it by watching and hopefully leaving a nice word or two. And that, my friends, I'm going to do better this video. So I know it's a lot, right? But we got a bigger unit, washer, dryer, as my wife says, the bigger cubic foot, I don't know, it's 5.4 and our old one was like 4.2 or something. We'll be able to put in more laundry, use less cycles, less water, so it should work out. But anyway, I told you guys that, right? we'll work out to about 62 and a half weeks. As you see, my beautiful wife just did the math for me. So we'll call it 63 weeks. We should be break even, back from the money we would have saved, not even counting in gas to drive to the laundromat and whatnot. Home Depot stock, why the drop? I didn't look into that one too much. I did see the earnings blurb. I think no, that was UPS, right? UPS dropped some new notes. They issued some new, I think they refinanced debt, shuffled the financial deck chairs around. But as far as Home Depot, yeah, unfortunately, I have to plead ignorance. I didn't dig into their earnings, but let's look, man. It should have dropped. If it dropped nice, then, well, let me see here. Let's see what good old home, let's see what the good old homie don't play it at Depot went to as I'm prepping here. Don't worry, I'm gonna bring you guys along. I haven't forgotten. I just wanted to get myself all set up here. Right up and set up. And whoever left, thank you for closing that door so loudly. We do appreciate it here on the channel. It's Monday night, not Sunday night. It's Monday night. You gotta have fun, right? So here we go. We got the good old Home Depot. I'm sure they're gonna look solid. Do you know what? One thing. Hold on. Let me fix this. Let me fix myself. There we go. You see, you can't hear them. So my wife leaves. The cat's attached to her at the hip, and if she leaves the house, he wants to go with her. He's sitting at the door. So told you. So we might have. Don't worry. My cat's not in pain. Maybe he's emotionally in pain, feeling a little bit of abandonment issues right now, but you know, he'll pull through. He's he's a strong guy. All right. So down at 325 Home Depot, and it's safe. AMC, everybody was freaking out, right, about AMC, that it went up whatever 300% in I don't know how long, but Home Depot went up in 30 years, like what, over 1,000% or something? Maybe even more. I had the numbers written down somewhere, but let's see. I know they bought the SRS acquisition. That is a distribution company. They want to build out into the professional contractors more, which is what I do, the pro side of things. But dude, look at Home Depot's dividend growth. This is one I would love to hold for a long time. They're not going anywhere. Again, we just bought, John, our washer and dryer from Home Depot. Plus, they're going to come in and set it up for us too. We paid a smidgen more, literally a smidgen more. They'll set it up and all that. But just incredibly fast dividend growth. I know, buddy. I know. Mom will be back soon. So, yeah, I know people just tune in like, who is he talking to? Yeah, dividend, ex-dividend, May 30th, so you can still get in for that that would be this week, right? Yeah, 27. I think I shared that in the newsletter. So, Home Depot, you can get in, yield 14% above the 5-year average. We'll go quickly here if you want to peruse any of this. So, they're almost in the middle of the 52-week range. Yeah, if that goes under 300, I don't know, this might be time for me to jump in. Free cash flow payout ratio is always low. Very comfortable. Nice and cozy. That's like the back seat of those big old Cadillacs. Just a lot of room. A lot of wiggle room. You can stretch your legs for those of you that are tall. You might be able to get a couple people laying down in the back of those. Just saying. Just trying to get a good gauge on diameter and whatnot. Free cash flow per share, $18. Come on. That's ridiculous. This might be sales growth down, 3% when it has not been negative in any from the previous year, going back at least 10 years. So I don't even think that's a concern. It's a buying opportunity, I think, is what it is. Sales, these are just strong numbers. Look at the return on invested capital, 39%. It's just, these numbers are just great. And return on equity, don't worry about that. That's a little low, but they probably do pay out most of everything as either share buybacks or dividends. And why'd he go southern there for a minute? We don't know. It's just ways brain up. Anyway, moving through quick. Just all you need to know, solid numbers. Except that might be the only little bugaboo there. Net debt 98%, although the net debt to EBITDA is very low, very nice. So yeah, they should be okay. And we'd have to look if you really want to dig into their debt structure, but I'm not exactly sure why the big drop, but dude, a weekly weekly meeting, the convocation. Hey, we could, man. I don't know. One day I just threw it out there. The dividend communion. We're all having our. Usually it's Sunday night, right? People have communion on Sundays. Yeah, I'm not worried about that, dude. We don't know what the macro, so I don't try to let the macro influence my micro decisions too much. I mean, I guess unless you're maybe investing in an M-REIT, a mortgage REIT or something, but nice. Fast Eddie, you cooked out. I asked you guys what you did for your Memorial Day. So I'm assuming a lot of you grilling, hopefully you all took it a little easy on the boozing and the wine, and I don't know, maybe you vape. I don't know, you do what you want. You know me, I'm more libertarian. Hey, if it's between consenting adults, have at it, right? I would strongly recommend, seeing what heroin feels like, playing Russian roulette, but, baby, you own your body. If it's what you want to do with it, you only got one and you only got a set amount of time on this planet, so have at it. I'm not giving you permission, right? Somebody's going to go, hey, Russ from Dapper Dividends said we should try and see what heroin feels like. No, don't do that. Disclaimer. I strongly recommend you don't try heroin, which is the most that's ever been mentioned on this right here show. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I think personal finance in this country is an absolute joke. Just a joke. Honestly, and I know because my daughters are in high school. Trigonometry. Really? Really? They don't hardly, well, you hear my grammar. They hardly know anything about personal finance and frogs in your throat, right? But trigonometry, all day. They got all this. I can't even help them. My wife, thank God, is good in math and is blessed in that area because I can't help these kids. I look at this, I'm like, well, it's something more than simple addition and subtraction, preferably using, less than 3 different, no, not me. Bubble, what's up, Bubble? You own HD? Wait, and you own, wait a minute. You own a Home Depot? Are you a franchisee? I'd like to know what that means. Please do clarify a little more. Janice, thank you so very much with your raspberry, rhubarb, and apple pies. It's like trying to be all slick and photographic memory about it. Nice. Yeah. Have you been making those long? Beautiful. Yeah, homemade, good stuff. At least, hey, that's one of the benefits with homemade stuff. And this can tie into conviction, right? You have to do your own due diligence and have your own conviction. And people are like, wait a minute, is this guy really going to tie rhubarb pies into investing? You're damn right he's going to. And this is how. Because when you have a rhubarb pie and an apple pie you make at home, you know everything that goes into it. You have clear and concise information on everything that's in that. But when you buy it in a store, you're trusting that they put the good stuff in it and saying that they put what that they put in it. But it's kind of like investing. When you buy something because you've done your homework, you've done your research, you've read the annual reports, you've listened to the earnings calls, you've looked into the business, studied their financial statements, you can develop conviction. But when you buy something because, Russ at Dapper Dividends is buying Nexstar Media Group, and you're like, well, I'm going to buy it too. And then you see the damn thing drop, 8% in a week. I don't really know why. You might not want to buy more. You're not going to feel very comfortable. So do your own due diligence. It's just like baking your own apple, gooseberry, and rhubarb pies. What's gooseberry, Uncle Russ? Don't eat it. That's what it is. If somebody tells you got gooseberry for you, please don't eat it. Okay, so that's Oh, dude, nice. Michael made a bacon and cheddar burger for his 11-year-old. Now he's chasing the ice cream truck. Beautiful. Is it just me or is it always weirdos that are in the ice cream trucks? Jim, you drinking a Corona? So I usually don't drink on the weekends. The race was delayed, right? That's why we're doing it tonight. Blame it on the rain, Millie Vanilli. It was the rain that was falling and pouring down in Indianapolis, delayed the race 4 hours. So we usually get home Sunday around 7 o'clock, but we didn't get home till a little after 11 p.m. So I'm considering tonight my Sunday night. I don't drink during the weeknights, but it's a holiday. I'll have a couple cold ones. It's been earned, you know. Let's see. Oh no, Kroger Cola, like Buffett said about McDonald's. Yeah. So you're drinking, John. Are you drinking the Kroger Cola? Are you all hopped up on it? Because that brings up another great point that there's no mind share for Kroger Cola. I don't think there are any really positive memories associated with Kroger Cola as there are with Pepsi and Coca-Cola. And you can lump in the Dr. Peppers and the Mountain Dews. And well, Mountain Dew is a PepsiCo product, but we're going to say the Mountain Dr. Pepper. That's Keurig Dr. Pepper, right? And I think Royal Crown. Oh, Greg, there you go. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, so if you just tuned in, I held up this sticker and said, does anyone know what this is? I found it as I was using in a bookmark in an old book. Wondered what happened to the dang thing. There's a bar in Milwaukee called Wolski's, and the only way to get that sticker, you have to be there for last call at 1:30, and then they just start passing them out. So that is exactly right, Greg. And if I had a prize to give you, I'd give you this sticker, but you know, it's my only one that I've got. So unless I'm in Milwaukee again and I'm staying till 1:30, which wasn't my favorite. Getting older, as the wife and I are finding out, the days of us staying up, you know, having a couple cocktails, dancing until, getting to bed at 5:30, 6 in the morning. That's a rough day. It's a really hell of a rough day. You don't want to do that when you're pushing 50. Getting like 3 hours of poor sleep and being hungover, no bueno, no bueno. So, you know, some people take decades to learn very simple lessons that some people learn the first time when they're 18. Home Depot tanks when a housing bubble implodes. Well, I'll be buying because honestly, we're always going to be needing Home Depot. And she left again. Here he goes. It's like clockwork. She coming back, buddy. There he goes. Can you guys hear this? I don't know if the mic picks that up, but so that's it. So I'm guessing they give her lower guidance. Yeah, I would definitely buy. I in the short term, we may have, you know, he keeps crying for you. It's ruining my podcast. That little guy. Oh, you have, okay, there you go. I was wondering if you meant Hog, which is Harley Davidson. Okay, good. Wait, your conversion is a week behind. You know. What's it? Wait a minute, I missed that. Top loader or front loader? Post that again. I don't know what you're talking about. Fast Eddie. Yeah, I think, but you know what? If it does repeat, first of all, it could. We don't know if that happens. I'll be buying. I will be buying. Home Depot is not going anywhere. What's going to replace it? Yeah, around here, we have, I think, the big three. We have Home Depot, Lowe's, and Menards, which Menards is private. It's not publicly traded. You know, you say big money. You say big money. That's indoctrination. I walk out of the store, I'm singing the song, saving big money at Menards with my 11% rebate. That's funny. Janice, yeah. Oh, little Louie, he needs his emotional support. I guess so. But the funny thing is, we leave, and he's crying for his mama. And then she comes back, and he's like, oh, hey, what's up? And he's like, yeah, I don't really care about you. I'm going to go. I got stuff to do, lady. I don't care about you. And then she leaves. My God. And then she leaves, and right again, he's crying for her. So, hey, it's his world. We all live in it. He wants us to do what he wants to do. And his favorite kind of behavior. I was going to say saying, because if my cat was saying things, I guarantee you I'd probably have one of the top 10 YouTube channels in all of YouTube, because a talking cat, to the best of my knowledge, maybe outside of biblical times, has never happened. So he kind of has like a now, right now mentality and attitude. We call that a disposition about himself, people. Matt, I'm sorry I did not listen to any Wesley Willis music yet. I'm writing it down. I will. I don't remember if you what kind of music you. Oh, it was Chicago, right? It was Chicago. John, I think you guys were talking about it. If it's a drawdown, one can buy Home Depot at even lower prices. You can, but that's saying that it does have that drawdown happen, which we don't know. And that's been my big mistake many, many times. Hello, Costco. I remember I was talking to my friends on a text. I probably still have it. I probably should delete it because it'll make me upset. Mr. one Ryan Williams and one Mr. Harris Elliott, who's taking a break from things right now, figuring some things, sorting some things out. Costco is just around $400, and I told them, by my calculations, it's way overvalued. I'm looking to get this bad boy closer to $300. And what do we see this week? It's like $815. So, just goes to show you what I know. But the point is, I waited for that to drop. I've waited for Visa to drop. I've waited for, I don't know, a lot of other businesses. Home Depot's one I wait for it to go a lot lower. Sometimes those drops never happen. And that's the thing, John, is that nobody on this planet knows what's going to happen. And it's for the very simple fact that there are trillions and trillions of possibilities occurring or not occurring, or the potentiality for them to occur at any second all around the world. And it's too much. Like the sheer odds of somebody knowing exactly what's going to happen. And I saw that. I'm like, what is this? I don't know. We just do these things, but that's what we don't know what's going to happen. It could. Hey, we all thought there was going to be a recession, right? If you listen to earnings calls, all these businesses thought that recession, inflation, and now they're hardly talking about it. Now it's all AI, right? We're all about the AI, which we got to get to this news. My God, how time flies. So I'm going to get caught up to your comments real quick. Push through the garbage. That's what I tell my kids. So, they're not taken to the finance stuff yet, but believe me, I'm here. I'll be the guardrails for them when they're right. It's like that saying says, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When they're ready, Papa don't preach. That's like, Papa will be here to teach and instruct and guide when they're ready for it. But unfortunately, I've led the horse to water. I'm splashing water in the horse's face. It's like, it's a hot sunny day, but the horse, my daughters, they just won't drink. And I don't know what to do. I'm not going to force feed them. So, when they're ready, that's but I agree with you. I told them, my oldest takes after me, having trouble in math, but she's a lot better than me. Thank God. She's a lot smarter than I am. And I told him, like, look, this is the game you're playing now, babe. You just got to do it. You've got to learn it, or at least remember it so you can regurgitate it for the test. And that's what you got to do. You can just, and that's the problem, right? That's probably the problem with our schooling system. We're teaching everybody what to think, not how to think. We're teaching most of us to just be cogs in a wheel. That's what I feel my education was. This is the stuff you have to learn to regurgitate back onto this test. And as soon as the test is over, or you get your diploma, just forget it all. Just brain dump it. There you go. Go on your merry way and have a good one, Oh, dude, thank you. Thank you for that. It's a number. Honestly, I was talking to my wife about Kevin Burgess, how I looked at his thumbnail. Kevin, I don't know if you're still watching, but when I was going to put my video on my phone, I saw your thumbnail for tonight, and I told her, I was like, this thumbnail is too busy, and this isn't going to get a lot of clicks. And then I said, but you know what? This is his hobby. He's retired, and what low pressure and low stress that has to be. when you're not micromanaging every aspect of your YouTube channel, you know? So Kevin, no shade there. I'm just saying you're doing your thing. You're loving it. You don't care, which again, hey, like me, this is a hobby. I don't know if it'll ever be my main thing. And I may stream more because I love talking to all you and not knowing what we're going to get into. So, all right, I'm going to start. Boy, I just jab and jabber, right? Oh, Rock and Roll McDonald's. Yeah, that was in Chicago. All right, I'm going to go do news here once I get caught up to you guys really quick. I promise I'm going to... Ooh, nice song. Is that the Smithereens, Days of Wine and Roses? Shamir, let me know who that is. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Dine. I'll tell you what, when we do news, I will look at Dine. I don't know if I've ever looked at Dine. I'm sorry, man, you know. I'm juggling a lot of balls here. Keeping it PG, too. Oh, Burn Survivor, he's got that Mountain Dew coursing through his veins. He's got that jumpy juice. What do you call it? The sugar water? There was a name. My service manager, he loves Mountain Dew, and we used to have names for him, and they've all escaped me right now. All right, I'm almost to all y'all. I might be a Menards guy. Sometimes we did look at Menards. We did shop Menards. Okay, good. You guys heard the cat. Yeah, it's okay. My wife, I hear her in the garage. Actually, she's folding up our tent. The bottom was wet, but we had to pack up, go to the race, drive home. So she's refolding our tent again. But I think I hear a cicada in the house. I don't know. They're crazy here. Anybody else got cicadas? Oh, Jim, he only drink. Look at this. He only drinks in days that end in Y, and in parts of the day where the time ends with an M, right? Oh, I see what you mean. They are front loaders. They're stackable front loaders. So we, yeah, time to buy is in the middle of a crisis. I think so. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Perfect time. My cat, what pet food maker stock would you like to buy? I think Novartis is one for their drugs, right? For pharmaceuticals, but oh, who is it? Is it Colgate Palmolive that owns? Who bought Purina? It's a weird one. I can't think of it now. It's one of the consumer defensive stocks. Fifth Third Bank, a good buy. Man, I don't know. I've never looked at Fifth Third. I don't know. Oh, look at this. Janice. Yeah, you are at, well, it's home base, but maybe it's a home base too. You are at the epicenter. You are at the neural network, the hive mind of Menards. Look at this. All right, this is why I gotta hurry up here, because you people are so beautiful to come and hang out, and I make comments, and then I just, I want to spend 10 minutes on everybody's comments, so I do apologize if I, if it's really important, just put it again, just repost it, I'll see it twice. But, and this is interesting, Nix. I read this book, everything I learned about investing from Darwin. I shared the link in the newsletter by Pulak Prasad, who's an Indian investor, exclusively invests in Indian companies. And one of the things he said is that, he speaks to me. I don't know if you guys remember Casey, used to post. Her and I still email back. She's all about the valuation and algebraic formulas and just getting really, really granular and micro on future cash flows and discounting that back to today. And to me, Pulak Prasad, he said the same thing that I think is that expert analysts have such trouble projecting earnings a quarter out. Next quarter is difficult for them. So how can any of us, let alone me, go 5 and 10 years out of a company's earnings or free cash flow? And it's just, you don't know what's going to happen. One black swan, it's all blown to hell. And that's part of investing. So he always says, look, if it's a good business, And we think it's going to continue to be a good business with a good moat, and its earnings and its sales are going to keep growing. It's going to have good management years and years and years into the future. Then we're just going to buy it and we're not going to worry about it. So I guess unless you're buying Cisco at like 200 PE or something, because if it has an outsized valuation, it'll even grow into it. And I said I wasn't going to get hung up on your guys' comments, but there's just someday we might do a 2-hour one of these. Replayability would suck, but go into this is my voice when I'm reading and scrolling and looking. Kevin, me neither, man. Me neither. Not at all. You're right. That could be some truth to that. Lars and the Bastards. Shout out to Lars Fredrickson. I will drink to him. Rancid is actually so Rancid is opening Green Day is headlining Wrigley Field, and we got Green Day headlining Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid, and the Linda Lindas. And I was like, ooh, that looks good. Cheapest ticket to get in the building before taxes and fees, $150. So you'd be looking at, easily over $200 a ticket to get in the building. And I said, yeah, not going to happen. I've seen all those bands separately throughout the years, but not going to happen. But NPM, we'll just say that one. Leave that. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I was thinking of like the 80s classic alternative Smithereens. My cat is afraid of them. Thank God. Thank God. We'll look at DNI. All right, here we go. Oh, that's it, dude. Rick, thank you, man. Nestle owns Purina. That's what I was thinking of. And they bought it from, I think, I may have my companies mixed up here, but in Barbarians at the Gate, I think Purina used to be owned by Ralston, right? Ralston Purina. And then, I don't know if that's when they sold it to Nestle, but I don't know if KKR bought them, like when they were buying the whole RJR Nabisco thing. I don't know. I should read that book again. It's been a few years. Okay, so Fed is unlikely to cut. Harsha, that's, I think, why we saw the REITs take a bit of a tumble again, because they are so sensitive and so tied into interest rates that the market, right, is always forward looking. And until we have clarity, which is what the market likes, I think it's just going to be a longer buying opportunity for REITs, because someday, eventually, when something breaks, they're going to cut rates. All right, I got to get to this news here, but I love this. I really enjoy. You all have that's interesting. I know there is an ETF on it, but John, that's out of my circle of competence is the Indian stocks. I'm struggling just enough learning the stocks of the country I live in. So that's good one. I did read that. I got it from the library. Maybe I should buy it. Oh, you are reading. I thought you said read it. Yes, Intelligent REIT Investor by Brad Thomas, which, I'm going to do don't tell Brad I told you this, but in his very recent blog Seeking Alpha post, which is for paid members, he recommended buying Vici Properties, Realty Income, and we'll just say I think the last one was EPRT, I believe. I think those were the three. So, all right, here we go. Oh, Michael, you know what that reminds me of? When you DCA shares, it's almost like an employee stock purchase plan, right? Because they don't, as far as I know, I've never been part of one, but I don't believe that the employee stock purchase plans let you pick and choose and wait. It's just that your money is deducted from your paycheck and you get shares of that stock. So, yeah, INCO, interesting. And honestly, that's probably, for all of you watching, I'd love to know your thoughts. That's probably the best way to invest in a foreign country where it's kind of like the devil you don't know. I'm not familiar with the Indian government, with business, with their laws, with how things work over there. So if I had a feeling that the Indian economy is booming, which as I understand it, their middle class is really growing, which is going to be great for them. And it's just great to hear. We don't want anybody poor and impoverished, so it's great to hear that their economy is growing and it's bringing a lot of people up with it, like happened here with the Industrial Revolution, right? When most people were agrarian, they worked on farms, and then they worked into they went into the factories, Yes, we had problems. We had 8-year-old coal miners. We had, little girls working on looms and things, losing fingers. And thankfully that all ended. That went away. But, growing pains, I guess. And it sounds cold to say that, but thankfully it did. So because I don't understand it, the one thing I would do if I thought the Indian economy was going up is to buy an ETF. You don't have to think about it. And like when you buy VTI, that's a bet on the American economy. You don't have to think about the individual businesses. It's just the American economy as a whole. So that's good. I don't have any idea, Matt, if there are any pawn shop stocks. That's a good one. Might have to look that. IBM, yes. Somebody should look up Pulak Prasad, Prasad. I know they have his portfolio somewhere, and he likes a couple banks. All right, I'm gonna get to news here because, dude, Kevin, that is, you're talking about, one of the guitars I almost bought was Nick 13's guitar. He has a guitar that's out, and this is gonna lose 99% of you, but I did get to meet their stand-up bass player, Jeff Kresge. I did get to meet him in a bar and say hello one night when he was playing with Horror Pops. So, believe me, this is as esoteric can be. Talking about, early 2000s psychobilly bands. But now that we're past that, that's out of my system. Reese, I don't know. You can put your money on. I won't put money on it. I don't know. That could be. We'll see. DEA, I think that's Easterly Government Properties, right? We talked about it a while ago, and it seems like it would be because they're going to get government money, but government can also back out of contracts. If the budget is tightening up, then they're not going to do that. That one I don't really know that much about. I just looked at it, and there was some things that turned me off. That's what I do remember. I think it's Easterly or Eastern Government Properties, right? DEA. And here we go. I'm almost caught up to you guys. Am I a member of the? No, I'm not. I work for my shop, small shop here. And yeah, I do a lot of things. I would say 60% of what I do is welding. So, oh boy. Yeah, we won't get into the union talk. We won't. Okay, some Indian tech stuff. You know what? Oh, dude, Harsha, you might be. Let's see. I think you're right. Yeah, fifth might be right. I tweeted out a post that I'll also pull up where I shared. And we'll start with that as I get to this, and we'll run through the news and stuff real quick. But let me see here. All right, let me bring you guys along. We'll look up. I'll show you about the economy talk, and I will leave off with the. All right, I'll leave off with Shamir, and then we'll pop back in. So, Union Busters. Yeah, there's a lot, man. There's a lot. Oh, I'm caught up. Okay. All right, we'll leave off with John's funny comment, and I will take you to first my post for this, and I'm gonna remember to switch screens here. So, hey, look, Darth Dividend says, "Are you at the $500 plus in dividend mark a month?" I am not, Darth. I am not, and we'll go to yours truly here. What I posted, here we go. So this was from I don't know if you guys can see this. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. This is from a Visual Capitalist article that I saw today that showed the share of global GDP for the top 6 largest economies in the world. And load up a little bit more for y'all. So, oh my God, there's a manhunt going on. Yikes. uh, anyway, the United States has been going up since 20. This goes back to 1980. And there we go. China. So we got the US. The EU is second at 17.3. US 26.3 share of global GDP. China's third. Japan is fourth. And there you go. India is fifth, just barely above the UK. So you are indeed correct. So there you go. And that's a Visual Capitalist article. And I had said VTI, right? That's the total investable US market, is a bet on America. VOO is the S&P 500. So pretty much the cream of the crop of the US stock market. GXC, there's one I find, looks to be a bet on China, where you don't have to know Chinese businesses. And then VT is just every investable business, as I understand it, in the world is VT. So a little bit of Twitter fun there. And then, what did I do? I closed out my window. Here we go. Let's do the news now. Let's do the news, everybody. So we'll go to latest and down to Monday, which was, let's see, we talked about 3M last week, M&T. Flowers, we talked, oh no, where am I going? What is this guy thinking? Wait, where did I go? What was Monday? Why am I having a brain cramp here? Anyway, I think 3M we left off at, right? Or was it Universal? I don't remember what we talked about, because we didn't talk about NVIDIA. Flowers we talked, I think, was the 23rd. Oh, there we go. Anyway, we'll start there. Sorry for the disorganization, folks. As my wife's phone goes off again. So, real quick here. Flowers bumped their dividend 4.3%. Oh, we did talk about it, I think. They own Dave's Killer Bread, Flowers Foods, ticker FLO. NVIDIA, there you go, the ginormous 150% raise, 10-for-1 stock split. And if you don't know, that means for every 10 shares of NVIDIA that you hold, no, I want to say that differently. For every 1 share, you will now have 10, but you take the current price and divide it by 10. And that's what each of your 10 shares will be. So remember the pizza pie picture? I wonder if I deleted it. We'll find the company doesn't change. It's just the amount of shares outstanding. That's all that changes. Medtronic raised their dividend only 1.4%. They refreshed their outlook on Southern with a safety score of 65. Southern company. You know, a lot of people are thinking that these electric utility businesses are going to be AI plays, and I think that's why some of them have been gaining in share price this year. And then LyondellBasell, ticker LYB, which I do own. Just to explain them in a nutshell, they make plastic possible. They are all the petrochemicals, so like polyolefins. I think that's a polyolefin. I think that's one of them. Anyway, but they're very tied to the price of oil, so they're a very cyclical business, and that's one of the reasons I've thought about selling them, is that management has no control over the price of the commodity, and that affects the business. And then, John, I did not forget about you, good sir. Very quick about Dine here, and they are unrated. We'll go super fast here. So if you want to look at the 10-year numbers, 5.2% yield. And what do they own? Let's just see what they own. They own Applebee's, IHOP, interesting. Fuzzy's, I don't know those. So they're basically, Fuzzy's Taco Shop? What? Never heard of it. All right, so they basically are Applebee's and IHOP. If you want to invest in those, you would buy Dine Brands. It's not dying, Dine. Looks like they've had some yucky cuts, pre-COVID cuts, yuck. Yield is, our dividend's been frozen, it looks like. Free cash flow payout is low. I don't know why they've been cutting. Yeah, so sales growth had gone negative. Yeah, they've been buying back shares, mostly, 15.2. Total sales, that doesn't look terrible. A little bit rocky, couple air pockets in there. And return on invested capital, Okay. You kind of look for 15%. That's the threshold, what looks really good, because then the money that you're investing is going to be outpacing the costed the weight, oh my god, I can't think of the word. The cost of capital, the weighted average cost of capital, right? The WACC is it should be outpacing that. So if you have a 15%, you hear that? Now my daughter's calling my wife. That's her ringtone. It's Tales from the Crypt. Okay, we were done with this anyway, but what was I saying? Oh, yes. The 15% return on invested capital is pretty solid because that is going to usually outpace what it's going to cost the company to borrow money, things like that. So it should almost guarantee that the business will have cash in excess to invest, pay dividends, buy shares, grow and expand, and all those things. So a consistent 15% return on invested capital or greater is better. And yeah, free cash flow. So it's okay. I don't know. I don't buy this. Sometimes they show no net debt on some of the smaller businesses, but I'm assuming they do have net debt. There you go, John, for that. And yeah, you want to see a fantastic return on invested capital? Check this out real quick, everybody. Visa is going to be, yeah, it's a beast. It's a premium stock for a reason. The dividend growth, just outstanding, growing every year since they IPO'd in what, 08 or 07? Here, let me get to their ROIC. Yeah, and look at that, actually. You want to see the dividend yield above the 5-year average and the forward PE below the 5-year average as a good starting point. But I'd like to come down a little more. We bought 2 shares at $268.99, started that position, and it's just, I'll go really quick here, pause the video if you do want to look at these in depth a little more. Just, I mean, this is like porn, honestly. This is just damn sexy to look at. There's no other way to say it. Here you go. Look at their return on invested capital. 19% is their low spot that's their low watermark in the last 10 years. I mean, it's just, you see numbers, these are eye-popping numbers. Free cash flow margin, 59% the last, that means out of every dollar coming in the business, 59 cents is making it to free cash. It's just, I mean, these are Marilyn Monroe numbers. This is your American Beauty type numbers here. And their net debt, 0.7%. I mean, it's just, that's, you hear me struggling for the words. You can't say enough good things about Visa. And then as we do that, I'm bringing up, because I don't want you to see my login information for my newsletter, to just show you what I bought really quick, and then I'm going to pop back up on with you people. If any of you are playing the drinking game, I understand every time I say you people, you're supposed to take a drink. So here we go. There's Vitaly Katzenelson again. If anybody signs up for his newsletter, which you should, it's good, but I'll get kicked a few bucks for that. But this is all from the newsletter. Yeah, shared compounding. It's easy to forget. It takes a while to get that ball rolling, but here we go. Only one dividend paid this week. Nexstar paid $180.83, and I've received almost $3,000 so far this year. And this is not our whole investment universe and portfolio. This is just what we share on the channel. The rest of it is in 3 mutual funds through my 401k. I sold 20 shares of AT&T, looking at that as a slush fund. I'm just going to, as I see things that I want to buy, I'm just going to start peeling off shares of AT&T to put it into things like I did here. Not Nexstar, bought 3 shares of Nexstar, 158, 50 shares of EPD at 28.42. Got tired of waiting. They're a beautiful company, and they're like that toll bridge. As long as oil is moving, they're essentially hired to help move oil for like Chevron, Exxon, these oil companies. So they move oil. They move crude, natural gas, things like, just think of that. So they get paid. The more oil that moves, the more that they get paid. 2 shares of Starbucks, 78.49. That had a nice pop this week. 2 shares of Agree Realty, 59.27. 7 shares of Vici at 28.71. I did use AT&T to buy Vici and Agree. 6 more shares of Harrow Incorporated. They're not coming down. Not a dividend stock. And then J&J, been dropping. Got ourselves 4 more shares at 147.41. So we're averaging down on that. So that's what we bought. My God almighty, that goes quick. So here we go. I'm catching up here to you guys. We left off. I'd like to see if anybody said anything important or interesting. That's cool. You don't have to follow me on X, but if you want, I'm not going to stop you. It's free, right? Hey, look at this. Subscribe to Lisa J's channel. Lisa, I don't know. I'm just shoving my mug in your face. Like, you better subscribe to her channel. Right? Nothing motivates people like the threat of bodily harm, which goes against all my libertarian principles. Shamir, I did not know that. VXUS, everybody, is, I'm going to guess, a Vanguard fund. So it's the global market minus the US. Flo does own Wonder Bread. He owns Flo. Again, people, tell me what Darth doesn't own, not what he owns, because he pretty much owns, I don't know. There was a joke brewing there, but it's late. Something about VTI and UPS, solid. You could wait. They're the ones that they issued more debt. They're just rearranging. They're strong. Not going to look at them tonight, maybe next week, but they're good. They're strong. Kevin's showing the podcasts. Man, I got to get on those podcasts. It's just been crazy. I've been busy. I've been doing this intensive writing course over this is the last week, and every weeknight has just been, it's been busy, but it's okay. It's cool. I've got information. I'm learning to be a better writer, hopefully a better communicator, which will serve myself and all of you much, much better into the future. McDonald is indeed a REIT away. You're right. They own a lot of property. And if you guys haven't watched, great movie. Was it The Founder? Is that what it's called? About Ray Kroc. Interesting story. You kind of feel bad for the McDonald's brothers. Really do. Deadeye, what's up? I don't know if we've talked before. I got to take a sip of my water. I'm almost out of tea. AT&T. Yeah, it's... I'll tell you guys one thing. AT&T and Coca-Cola. As we look at our plans, I think we have our family plan through T-Mobile. Honestly, if AT&T was going to give the same service for half the price for 3 years or something, guess what? We're going to go to AT&T. And if Verizon, go to Verizon. We don't care. You just want the lowest. And that's one of the problems. Hyper-competitive, very capital intensive business. They're always spending out money and they're always making the same promises. Well, it was 4G, 3G, and now it's 4G, and now it's 5G, and now it's Spectrum, and now it's fiber, and then it's this, and then it's that. And they're always saying like, but then we're going to get the money. Yeah, we're laying out the infrastructure, but yeah, and then soon in the future, then the money's going to roll in. Oh, then they got to spend out on more stuff. So it's why it's struggled for many years, and that's something that it took me a little while to learn. But yeah, honestly, I'm not, did I turn this? Yeah, it's still light enough. I thought I had that up high. So yeah, I think that's great, man. Great move. Glad to hear it. You're smarter than I am because I should have what do the kids all say? Not bugged out. I don't know. I can't think of the word. I'm 46, people. I'm not up with the hip language of these kids. Anyway, my Twitter handle is @RustyRam78, and that is what we did. That's what we bought. Why don't we do? Oh, look at this! I always think I'm gonna burn my fingers doing this. This is a little warm. Not gonna lie. We'll hold it like this. So, whoo, that almost flipped out of my hand. Could you imagine candle wax all over my MacBook Pro? I don't know if that's covered under the warranty program. How'd you get candle wax all over? Well, it's funny you should ask. Anyway, so, in the chat, yes. Hold on, Matt. Let me just put down my candle and put that in the chat. my Twitter handle. Honestly, I don't tweet all that much. I might tweet once or twice a day, but it's not that high on my list of priorities. I enjoy it. I enjoy sharing things. And anyway, let me do this again. Since I was so rudely interrupted by Kevin wanting a Twitter handle, anything else I can get you, sir? Now that would be the butler voice. All right. Anyway, you guys, it's a short week. Let's have some fun. We'll talk about what you bought, and there's a commercial going on right now. I'm going to wait for this commercial to end because I'm going to end, and I don't know how many of you can still see this, but yeah, hit the thumbs up button if you want. Now we're back. This is over. We had a commercial, and now we can do my Pee-wee. Why? Because I love it. I'm a kid of the 80s. Everybody, I had a wonderful time with you. Hopefully we'll do it again next Sunday. Back to normal, regularly scheduled programming. And I really do enjoy all of you. I thank you spending some time with me. I will see you again next week. So long, everybody.